friends. It's an honor for us to be here, especially to honor my brother. My brother was born in 1970. He was the first in our family to be born in the United States. He grew up with all of us and attended Valencia High School in the city of Placenta. Upon graduating from the Marine Corps, from high school, he enlisted in the Marine Corps. We kind of didn't know where that came from, but I figured then that he wanted to get an education, and this was his avenue to get it. We soon saw him travel all over the world: Japan, Hawaii, Peru, San Diego. I truly believe that the internet propelled us, because my mother learned how to use the internet, how to use a computer when my brother went to Iraq. She learned what Skype was. She learned what text messaging was. She's the most forward person of her generation. As you know, my brother was to leave to Africa, to Senegal on August 28th. And we laid him to rest on the 27th. I'll get back to you and tell you a little bit about that. My brother was a unique person. He made friends throughout the world. During his service, we saw folks from Germany, Africa, Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., Virginia, South Carolina, and we still have several relatives with us that came from Mexico. He went out of his way to seek relatives, first cousins, second cousins, third cousins. I spoke yesterday on the phone to a long-lost cousin who he met about 2 months ago and went to graduation in San Jose, California. So that tells you he wasn't satisfied with his friends and the family that he had. He had to go out 2, 3, 4 generations removed. He was our party planner, and I said this at his service. He used to make my sister and I nuts. He said, hey, we're having a party, and you need to call so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And he wouldn't rest until we called everyone. And my sister and I have lives, and we have families, and we have jobs, but we were at his beck and call. And he threw the best parties at our expense. In fact, he planned his 40th birthday party. He was going to turn 40 in December, but he would have been in Africa. So on his way back from San Jose, he purchased 2 piñatas. An Elmo piñata, because that was his nickname, Elmo, Elliot Mora, and then another character. You might know him in Chavo del Ocho. So he put him in the washroom and said, Mom, these are for my birthday party. I said, okay. And we all kind of said, all right, well, I guess we're going to have a party then. In the last few weeks, we've heard a lot of stories about my brother, stories that we didn't know about, because not that he was a different person when he was away from us, he was the same person that had different experiences with other people, and it filled our hearts to listen to those stories. Some of them are hilarious, some of them have touched our hearts, and because my husband and I were along with the rest of our family preparing his services, we became overwhelmed with all the stories from his friends and Marines, that we started a memorial website on legacy.com, and we've received pictures, videos, comments, and I love it because it's our opportunity to share with our children, the rest of our family, and we think it's a wonderful thing. I stumbled on it when I was doing something else, but all of those stories tell us that my brother lived his life full throttle. He did. He never stopped. He always had a plan with someone, a meal, a drink, just to hang out. He especially took time to talk to the children, our cousins' children's, our friends' children, everyone. And it's evident because he has about half a dozen godchildren throughout the country. But he was always busy cultivating relationships. I'll tell you a little bit about a service for those of you that were not, or could not attend. He had a traditional Catholic service. We always talked about that, but I thought it would never happen. I told him he was going to go first class. And then he said, you know, I want mariachi. And I said, okay. And he told my niece, and I want everybody to tap the keg before they tap the casket. Again, I thought that would never happen. But those of you who were there, we had a bagpipe play Amazing Grace, and then followed with a mariachi. I have a 70, 80-year-old uncle who the whole week while we were preparing for his services ignored the heat, ignored everyone else, and all he did was write. He wrote a song. It's called El General. And these are verses of conversations that he had with my brother and what he saw happening around him. He also played that, he sang that song that he wrote the words and the music to at the Memoriam. And yes, we did have a keg. Colonel, beautiful keg, wasn't it? It had the Marine Corps emblem on it. It had right. And so my brother did go first class. I'll tell you, after we had his reception, we had his birthday party because we knew he was never going to be ready to go. I found out that he had plans on the 19th, the 20th, the 21st, and every day thereafter. So did he live full throttle? Yes. Did he make plans? Yes. He did live like there was no tomorrow. We knew as a family that we were important. His friends knew that they were important, no matter where you were in the world. I heard from a friend of his who was at my wedding. Oh, and I'll tell you a little story about that, just a little side trip. My husband used to bring Marines home when he was stationed in El Toro, and he used to bring a lot of friends home, Marines who couldn't go home for the holidays. He'd bring one or two home. He had dinner with the family. And when he went to Japan, he brought a Marine home.